Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, true art believers. This is Pearson here. I am the number one live art streamer in the world. You are watching 500 Days of Drawing. Today is day 490. Got another piping hot cactus drawing for you, and we're going to hit the ground running, starting right now. All right, let's get going, man. Let's get started. Knock this out the park and just go ahead. Just go straight into it. No ifs, ands, or buts, and knock it out of the park. So we're just gonna hit a color, gray color. I'm gonna go and do some. Actually, we're just gonna do something different. We're gonna do something completely different. There we go. Press that, and then we're going to press G. Oops. Press G, and we're just going to fill that up with a square right there, and then we're going to press T, and we're going to make this larger, and then we're just going to press V. There we go. Center, and then deselect. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Now let's press B for brushes. And we're just going to go ahead and let's do the brayer. Yeah, a brayer brush. And just play around with it. You know, just play around with it. So I am on point today. For real, like I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well. Today has been like things are just going good. We'll see how that changes, between now and then. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. And so I was talking about this yesterday, and what it was I was talking about the whole premise of conquering the morning, and I was talking about how I needed to do that because my mornings were pretty sus, like really sus. They were not good, right? They were like okay at best, but now I think, well, I mean, I've only done it for one day, but I'm going to try to maintain this idea of really like dialing in my mornings and really getting those mornings in and doing a really nice job at I don't know, just a good job at getting up at 5 and just knocking everything out of the park, because lately I haven't been able to achieve that. I've been very, very just like weak and lax with how I do my days, and I need to basically conquer my mornings, because as you can see, just by doing like conquering my morning, I'm already having a slight advantage with my lives. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm already having a slight advantage with my lives. Hence why you're seeing me doing my lives right now. I'm going to end up doing another one later on today. Another one's going to happen on later on after work. But I've been trying to conquer my mornings, and I feel that if I'm able to do that, I'll be more successful with everything else, because everything else is actually pretty well. Like it's crazy how efficient you are when you get, or how like productive you are when you really do conquer your morning, where you You knock out a lot of the things, a lot of the noise, a lot of the like fluff that you need to do in the morning. If you're able to get that out of the way, you're just so much better off for it. Because I usually have like a bunch of like stupid stuff that I got to do in the morning. Actually, not stupid, but like business stuff. Like I'm doing eBay business stuff. I'm like answering questions. I'm list drafting stuff for to put for sale, and I'm doing that in the morning. And I do it so that I can get it out of the way, because it'll make for an easier day. Like if I get that out of the way, that means I'm able to do some of the things that I need to do with my little girl, right? And I'm able to get more, spend more productive, like spend more quality time with her, and just be more present, right? And if I'm able to do that, I feel better for it, right? So I'm going to try to basically knock the day out. Like knock the morning out of the park every day. And it's going to take, yes, sweetie? What's up? You want more spaghetti? In that pot. Can I get you more? Oh, there's some in that pot. If you can get it yourself, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'll get it a little bit later. Awesome. You rock. But yeah, as I was saying, getting that morning, like that stuff that you do in the morning out of the way really is very helpful. And because everything you have to do in your day takes it like literally, it takes like mental real estate. Like it is a burden on your mind, right? Like you're trying to, whenever you're doing something and you have to make decisions, there is like, I hear it's called like decision fatigue, right? Where you're like, you've made all these decisions throughout the day, and your brain starts to get a little fatigued by all these actions. And I think they call it decisions fatigue. And so that's why you got to kind of automate some of the things that you do in the morning, where you're not having to make as many decisions. And some of those things that some people do, I don't do this personally. I kind of do it, but I don't do it in this fashion. Some people, they will make it so they don't even have to decide what they have to wear the next day. They just have the same like thing that they wear every day. That's one of the reasons why you saw like Steve Jobs wear the same black was it like a black like turtleneck and like jeans. He wore that every day. It wasn't because he was like it probably wasn't because like he particularly loved turtlenecks and black jeans, although it probably helps that he didn't mind wearing it. But like he probably wore that because he didn't have to decide what you had to wear that morning. Like he just put that on every day. I know an artist who wears like the same black dress every day. She never changes it. It's always a black dress. Like it's always the same. It never changes. And I thought to myself, if I wasn't such a stickler for not throwing away clothes, I would definitely go that route. So the only route that I do is, as far as like I'm concerned, with like so I don't have to decide what I want to wear, I just like choose what the first shirt in line is in the closet. So like I just choose whatever's in line. Like and the same goes with kind of like pants. I just grab a pair of pants. I don't really think about it. I just grab a pair of pants and go with it. If I have to go out to a nicer place, I'll wear my nicer pair of pants, whatever that means. But I don't necessarily think about what kind of clothes I'm going to be wearing that day. Because for the most part, it's kind of dialed in. Like I know that I'm going to be picking the first article of clothing that's hanging up. And it can kind of backfire sometimes, because sometimes I have like these clothes that don't fit, or it's a long sleeve shirt and it's going to be hot outside, like it's like 100 degrees outside. Like, oh my gosh, I got to wear a long sleeve shirt. This is no good. So it does backfire. In my mind, I've always wanted to like buy just a bunch of the same clothes and just go with it that way. But I decided that I don't want to do it that way, where I have the same clothes, mainly because I would have to throw away clothes, and I'm weird. I don't like wasting things. Like I am really weird. I will not waste things. I will wear. Okay, so we're gonna do this. This cactus, we're gonna make the cactus larger, like that. Yeah. I will not waste things. Yeah, I'm weird that way. And oops, there we go. Yeah, so I'll try for I will try my best to wear my clothes until they are completely broken down and they're out of style. I will do the same thing with my pants and my shoes. I will wear my shoes until like the soles will fall off. Not because I'm like a stickler. I'm like, yes. I don't know where the pot of spaghetti. Grab an apple for the meantime. I can't help you at the moment. I can't stop my live stream, bud. My daughter wants more spaghetti. She ate it all real quickly, and yeah, I can't help her. That's one of those things. Like you do. I can help her in theory. Yeah, I can help her, but like that was a whole bowl of spaghetti. She normally doesn't eat that spaghetti eat that fast. And then I guess she realized she was hungry after doing all these activities, right? And so like now she's like, I'm hungry. Like oh man, I've sat down with you 3 times already. We could have ate all day. Like yeah, she really wants spaghetti right now. Unfortunately, she will have to wait until this live stream's over, because it's really weird to kind of for me to stop or kind of go downstairs and make sure that she has more spaghetti. But she'll get spaghetti. She's not gonna be lacking in the spaghetti field in about 20 minutes. She's gonna have spaghettis for days. But yeah, conquer the morning, you conquer the day. For real. It's so easy. And it sounds stupid. It sounds so stupid of an idea, but it really is. Like today, the thing is, I can't maintain it. That's my own problem. Is I can't maintain like the whole concept of conquering the morning. Like I really can't. I try. What happens is my work, my work kind of messes up like everything. Like it messes up my schedule. Like I try to conquer my morning, and then all of a sudden I have to do something, or I have my work keeps me up later than normal, and pretty soon pretty soon all I have is I have to go to bed at midnight, and all of a sudden I'm like struggling to catch up, right? So I struggle with that the idea of conquering my mornings. I really do. It's just very difficult for me, It really is difficult for me to maintain the schedule that I like to maintain. And it's not for lack of trying, because I do try to kind of maintain like that's very rigid, like almost monk-like schedule. But it's only possible if you're like single. Really, you can't maintain a schedule when you're a father or you're a parent. You really can't. You can, but you can't, if that makes any sense. You can facilitate a schedule, and it can work about 80% of the time, but there's going to be that like those days, those outliers where it works like 0% of the time, right? And you're just kind of left at your own devices. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to have to kind of wing it today, you know, and oftentimes I will have to wing it, you know, and there's those days where I am winging it from time to time, et cetera, et cetera. And it's not always a good thing, but you try. I mean, all I can say is there's a little bit of effort involved, and um, all you can do is just try and put your best foot forward, et cetera, et cetera. Um, but conquering your morning really is the best thing that you can do. Um, the next best thing after that is actually maintaining, plotting out your schedule. I used to be really vigilant about that. I used to spend like 10 to 20 minutes a day writing out my week, writing out my day. And I'm quite honest with you, I'm going to start back up real soon, but I'm actually really scared to. I'm like super scared. I was going to do it last night, and I got scared. I got afraid. It was a weird feeling. I got really afraid and concerned that I was going to that I just got really afraid, if that makes any sense. And I didn't do it, and I should have did it. Yeah, I didn't do it, and I can tell you that it was I was a little bit of a scaredy cat with it. And you know, you can't be a scaredy cat with your schedule. But like, I think after you conquer your morning, the next best step, in my opinion, would probably be to really start initiating some sort of schedule where you plot out your day, your hours. You know, from my experience, I like to plot out at least every hour. Like I'll plot out what I'm gonna be doing that hour. But I also know that it gets very hard. I will plot out every half hour, but I will try to go general to specific. Some people will say plot out your schedule every 15 minutes or every half hour. I find that going by hour is a little bit more better for me because it kind of allows more wiggle room. Whenever I try to funnel down to like scheduling my day by every 30 minutes, it really doesn't leave me a lot of like breath. Like, it doesn't really give me a lot of free visual wiggle room if something bad happens throughout the day. Like, there's always going to be some unexpected thing that occurs. So I do plan out my day for in like 30-minute intervals, but it's not like it's not set in stone. You know, I try to hold the scheduling with a grain of salt because it's very hard for me to maintain that schedule. Generally, that's what happens. It generally becomes very hard for me to maintain that schedule because it's just difficult. I don't have I can't give you a reason as to why that is. I think it has to do with, you know, if you're a parent and you're trying to micromanage your hours and all that stuff, it becomes very difficult because your time is not your time. Your time is kind of your kid's time, right? You're basically just managing your time so that you're more effective around your kid, your daughter or your son, right? And that's what I typically try to do is I try to manage my time so that I'm able to capitalize a little bit and get more done in areas of like where my time is open, where it's available, you know. And people might say that's like impossible, and I do agree. Like as I said, I've talked about this guy a lot, like the guy from Daily Refinement. He talks about how like he finds it impossible to do anything with his kid around, with his daughter. Like, he finds it super hard. And it really is. Like, it's a big ask to do things when you're with your kid. But, you know, he also he's got an advantage that I don't have. Like, he can afford like childcare. He can afford to take his kid out to childcare. I can't, right? And so he can afford it. So, which means he's able to have access to more free time than I do. So like I can't spend all of my time with like really important family time. Like it has to be, I have to make meals and I have to read and I have to, if you have to do parenting stuff, you have to do all that parenting stuff. That is a large chunk of the time. It is a large chunk of the things that you're doing with your kid is just making sure that they're fed, making sure that they're clean, making sure that they got clothes on their back, just all kinds of like stuff. I don't have the luxury of like, like the only luxury I have, like this right here is my luxury, this is like where I cash my free time in, is to do my live stream. It's either I do it at this time or at night. And I typically try to do it. I like to do it this time because I don't like doing it at night. It's already been a long day. I've been up all day, and I'm gonna be doing one later tonight. Fingers crossed, I'm gonna do another one later tonight. But I don't like doing it late at night because it's already been a long day. I've already put in like 16 hours in, right? I've been working nonstop. Like if you're up at 5 o'clock and you work from 5 to 5, you've already put in 12 hours of labor. Now imagine adding another 5 hours. So you're doing like a 17-hour day, 5 to 10 o'clock. Funny little stories. Like I actually, in my studio, I had a little note hanging up on some. I have a note hanging up on. It's hanging up on like my workbench, and it says 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it was a remark upon like how I should be working from 5 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m. It was a very like I want to say generous outlook on how I should spend my time, because it's very hard to work 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. straight all the time. 365, 7 days a week, 365, 24/7, right? It's very difficult. I do it like not regularly, but I do it often. Just so I can get things going with my drawing, with my work, and just in general. So this turned out pretty good. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna add another layer. I'm gonna add 2 layers actually. This next layer is gonna be like we're gonna add like some pink, purplish, some purplish pink here as like the dark tones. It's a little bit. As like just for a nice little color flavor. It's like a little bit of purple. Yeah, it's some purple here. The same thing goes for here. Let's like add a little bit of purple. So I like using a little bit of color with my shadows to make it a little bit more interesting visually. So that's what I'll do from time to time, is I'll add these like shadows or add a little bit of purple or different colors to the cactus here, so that they it's just not like the straight like cactus that is all like very like a different hue of green, right? So that's what I typically like to do. So now I think that's that. Now let's go ahead and add a little bit of the skin brushes here for some. I'm using the skin brush pour. There we go, something like that, where we have a little bit of the. Okay, it's kind of showing. So as you can see, I'm kind of adding a little bit of this. Adding some of these little dots here, and I'm just kind of adding it because I think it makes for just kind of like a nice texture on the cactus. So there's a little bit more variety in the way that the cactus looks. And I think that's that. Now let's go ahead and add some thorns, right? And we're going to go add some thorns and then call it a day using the hard edge brush. Do that, and then maybe use, let's make it at 13 pixels. And I think we're just going to add regular thorns this time. We're making good time today, or at least I think I'm making good time. So I'm just going to add some, I'm not going to do the other thorns. I'm just going to do the standard thorns that I used to do at the very beginning, which is kind of like there you go. Let's kind of add these here. But yeah, it's been a good day. And I think if you are trying to be more productive with your day, I really would suggest or have you consider conquering your mornings, making it a consistent morning, just set a time that you think you can feasibly wake up and do it consistently each day. And then things that you need to get done, do all of it in the morning. There's this book called Eat That Frog, and it basically talks about how you should be the first thing, the thing that you don't want to do, you should do early in the morning, right? So basically, you're eating that frog, doing that activity that you don't like doing. And so typically what I do is I kind of do that. Like I kind of do a thing or not an activity, but a objective that I need to do that I don't like doing. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I don't even mind doing it. It just, I don't know. The only time I can do it effectively is when everyone else is asleep. It's not like I don't mind doing that kind of stuff. It's just that it becomes very difficult to do it in the afternoon. Just like it's very difficult for me to do these live streams right now. In order for me to do a live stream at this time, I have to have everything else that I need to get accomplished done prior to this. So I've already done a lot of things that I wanted to get accomplished today done, and I had to have time to set up the live. I had to get everything situated with my kid, make sure that she is okay spending time alone, and which usually means watching some sort of show. Right now she's watching Thomas the Train. I don't like having my kid watch a lot of shows. There's very few shows that I really think are valuable. So I'll have my kid watch there's YouTube stations that play the entire show is them saying the alphabet or doing phonic lettering and stuff like that. I feel that that's valuable. So this is pretty good. That's it, man. I am done. I kept it simple with the thorns, and I kept it simple with everything else. I did the drawing in less than 30 minutes. That's a good pace, right? That's a very good pace. I'm really actually quite pleased with myself. So let's go ahead and find this ink, and then we're going to use what would be a good color. Well, I used a lot of pink, so might as well use a lot of pink for the signature on the bottom here. I'm going to go on the bottom right here, and we're just going to sign the bottom with my signature here at what pixels? Okay, we can go T M P 22, and this is Cactus number 175. and it is day 490. Technically, I'm actually like 5 days behind, and that's why you're going to see me try to do a couple of 2 days here and there. And today might be a day where I actually am able to do two live streams because I'm actually on point. And if today's not, if work tonight is not too busy, I should be able to do a live stream, depending on how tired I am. If it's late. Well, if it's not late, but like if I'm tired, right, and exhausted, I might just call it a day and not worry about it. I might just do a two lives tomorrow, but I really would like to do two lives today and tomorrow to kind of get caught up. But if I'm not able to do that, I'm okay with it. You know, I'm definitely okay with not doing another live today, but I intend on doing another one because I'd like to get caught back up to where I should be because I missed a few days. I missed the whole week. I just didn't do it. There's a lot of things going on in my personal life that was like really affecting me psychologically and mentally, and I wasn't pleasant to be around with, or I just wasn't pleasant, and I was very angry, and I was taking it out on myself and taking it out on my live streams. And that was probably what I shouldn't have done because now I feel really bad about it. Anyways, I want to say thank you so much for watching today's live art stream. This is Pearson, and I hope to see you again later on today, or if not, I'll see you tomorrow. And I wish you all the best, and take care. All right? You take care, and you enjoy the rest of your day. I know I will. Cheers.